Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, Aya's story is one of the oldest in human history and one of the most haunting. It's the story of Cain and Abel, two brothers whose lives reveal how jealousy can destroy love and how every choice we make carries weight. This isn't just an ancient account. It is a reflection of what it means to be human, to wrestle between doing what is right and giving in to what is wrong. After Adam and Eve left the Garden of Eden, they began their life outside paradise. In time, they had two sons. Cain, the firstborn, became a farmer. He worked the soil, planting and harvesting crops. Abel, the younger brother, took care of sheep. Both men had their own work, their own way of providing and living before God. One day, they each brought an offering. Cain brought some of the fruits of the ground, what he had grown. Abel brought the firstborn of his flock, the best of his sheep. God looked with favor on Abel's offering, but not on Cain's. We aren't told all the reasons why, but one truth runs through the Bible. God doesn't just look at the gift, he looks at the heart of the one who gives it. When Cain saw that his offering was not accepted, anger and jealousy began to rise within him. His face fell, and his heart hardened. But then, something remarkable happened. God spoke directly to Cain and said, "Why are you angry? Why is your face downcast? If you do what is right, won't you be accepted? But if you don't, sin is crouching at your door. It desires to have you, but you must rule over it." It's one of the most powerful warnings in all of Scripture. God was telling Cain, and all of us, that sin doesn't leap out of nowhere. It waits quietly, crouching at the door, waiting for a moment of weakness. Yet even then, we still have a choice. God wasn't condemning Cain, he was warning him. But Cain ignored the warning. He invited Abel to go out into the field, and while they were there, Cain attacked his brother and killed him. The first death in human history wasn't from age or disease. It was murder. One brother's jealousy spilled his brother's blood. Then God came to Cain and asked, "Where is your brother Abel?" Cain answered with the words that still echo through time, "Am I my brother's keeper?" But God already knew. He said, "Your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground." Cain was cursed. The ground that once produced crops for him would now resist him. He would become a wanderer, restless, always moving, never finding peace. And yet, even in judgment, there was mercy. God placed a mark on Cain so that no one would harm him. The punishment was real, but so was God's compassion. This story is ancient, but its lessons are timeless. The first is that worship is not about what we bring, but how we bring it. Abel's offering was accepted because it came from a place of faith and sincerity. Cain's may have been offered without that same devotion. God doesn't want performance. He wants authenticity. Second, jealousy distorts our vision. When Cain looked at Abel, he no longer saw a brother. He saw competition. Jealousy turns love into rivalry and blinds us to what we still have. Third, sin begins quietly. It crouches at the door, and if we don't master it, it masters us. That moment of warning, the space between anger and action, is where our true strength is tested. And finally, even when we fail, God's mercy remains. Cain's sin was terrible, but God still protected him. The consequences were real, but grace still spoke louder than judgment. Cain and Abel's story isn't just about two men long ago. It's about all of us. We've all felt envy. We've all been tempted to let anger or comparison rule us. Sometimes that anger doesn't lead to violence, but it leads to distance, to bitterness, to silence, to broken relationships. Every time that happens, we're standing where Cain once stood, and the same voice still speaks to us. You must rule over it. Each of us is our brother's keeper. We are responsible not only for our own choices, but for how we treat one another. To be human is to care, to look out for others, to lift rather than destroy, to love rather than compete. So remember this story not just as a tragedy, but as a call to self-awareness and compassion. Guard your heart, worship with sincerity, celebrate others instead of resenting them. And when anger stirs, pause, because in that moment, you still have a choice. If you love God, hit that subscribe button and join us for everyday blessings. Until next time, stay true, stay kind, and choose what is right even when it's hard.